punish anyone who crosses my path.
The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill her.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Three Houses. We are touring Garreg Mach. As always, you guys should be used to this. I did go ahead and use up my meals between, so we do have a few more social links to do.
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom in alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be
Ooh, that's
joining our
dangerous. You
side.
can never count on a rebellion to help
With
you.
you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
For 5 years, I fought for the Empire. I've cut down hordes of enemies.
I was sleeping.
Now I have the same look in my eyes that the boar used to have in his. The look of a savage beast who loves nothing but destruction and violence.
Oh man, what did we do to Felix?
I hope not. You and Edelgard must not disappoint me. Mark my words. The future you're building had better be worth all this bloodshed.
Alright, and of course the real reason we came up here. So Yuri is a B+, Trickster level 24, but Yuri is not the one representing us. He's not even in our battle group. Petra is who we're using. Let's go see it. One second. Sorry, people are messaging me because they're rude. 46% chance to hit. That's why I brought Petra.
To survive, I will win. I fight for justice's name.
I probably should have looked to see if, like, that was smart to do, but wow, 4% chance to crit and she did it. Go Petra. Also, wow, I mean, just that outfit. I know I haven't explicitly talked about that outfit yet, but that freaking outfit. Obviously, you know, don't poo-poo other people's garb. I do love the little twirl she does. It makes me, like, super happy. Also, this 45%, I think maybe the avoidance isn't counted into that. They gotta be so upset. Like, I don't even have to wonder. It's like, well, I wonder if I should heal. Well, she hasn't taken damage yet.
You are in my way.
Of course, as soon as I say that, she takes damage.
I fight for justice's name.
So, 50 chance per hit for 16 damage. That means this is the finals. There's absolutely no reason not to heal. Here we go.
No use.
Oh, yuck. Once again, it does that some, like, where it just decides I didn't win fast enough, which is ridiculous and annoying, and I don't like it. But not much I can do about it. Like, I feel like she had a good chance of winning that,
I thought
eventually.
you might be at the monastery. That's why I made my way here. I decided to follow your path because I believed in you. But then you vanished. Now that you've returned, I have my guiding light once again. Welcome back, Professor.
I want to see all the stuff you've painted in the last 5 years, right now. Hey, Gaspar. Why are you in here all by yourself?
All right, I'm ready to fight. Let's do this. Leave it to me. I can take on the whole, most of the enemy's army. I know my limits now, Professor.
I should probably get these out of the way. I'm just like, see here. So yeah, some of these were oh my god, I am dying. Some of these are because I did that, you know, thing that you can spin around to get people closer. But some of it was just from eating. Apparently these people have been waiting to get closer to each other.
Caspar, I've been wondering something. Would you be happier if you were the heir to House Burgleys?
I very much doubt it.
Of course. My brother probably wouldn't be too happy about it, though.
Well, that's kind of an understatement. Ah, I've got the hiccups, help!
I've got nothing against him, and I'd hate to cause him trouble. So I guess it wouldn't make me very happy at all.
Caspar's such a good person.
You may not want to hear this, but your brother is not a good man. He's lazy and greedy, and has always relied on the knowledge that he would inherit a title. That's my impression of him, anyway.
You don't hold anything back, do you? But to be honest, you're not too far off. He's got good reason for it, though. Our grandfather was really obsessed with his second wife.
Interesting.
She has a son who she really wanted to become the heir. In the end, though, my grandfather had to step down sooner than expected, so everything went to my father instead.
I can see why that would kind of, like, haunt you.
My brother is still really worried about having his future taken from him.
That's the price of taking your own desires into account when choosing an heir. The concept of nobility is decaying, and it's dragging the Empire into the ground with it.
Wow, this conversation is really going there. You may be right, but it's not like the world is ever going to change, right?
Do you not understand why we're fighting?
It must. I intend to create a world where the best are free to rise to the top and succeed, regardless of their bloodline.
I can see why I wouldn't let this conversation happen until now.
The nobility as it is now could not exist in a world like that. I'll make sure of it.
What do you think would happen to me in that kind of world?
You become the heir because you're a good man.
Would you appoint me as a general or minister of military affairs?
If you were the best suited for that position, I would.
Right, so my life would pretty much stay the same. I'd still have to train, get stronger, and use my abilities to cut my own path. Either way, I'll fight for what I believe in. That means I'll fight for you.
Is that so?
I mean, is that really a conversation we're having? Like, he kind of already threw his lot in with us.
At the base, the front lines, or wherever we might be fighting, I'll be there with all my might.
Okay, calm down, Caspar. Did you just flee? I feel like he just fled. Nope, we're saving Shamir. You guys know the rules. And yeah, I'm going to make a concentrated effort to get all of the Yuritsa levels that we can. Because, like, obviously this is the only path where you ever get to see this. This conversation will not go well. Okay, Bernadetta, you've killed him before.
I must have had a nightmare.
You're awake.
I mean,
Yuritsa.
yeah, that's it. Professor Yuritsa.
I am not a professor.
I still want to know what he was a professor of. Cause, well, like, he was obviously not of the third class because he was still on campus grounds when I got here. What is he? What was his job before he deserted?
Wait, what? You're not Professor Yuritsa? Oh, yeah. Professor Yuritsa always wears a mask. So then, who are you?
Yuritsa.
I don't understand. Look, are you Professor Yuritsa or aren't you? Please make yourself clearer.
I am Yuritsa, but I am not a professor.
A Yuritsa who is not a professor?
Oh my
So there
god, Bernadetta, you are so
Yuritsas
stupid.
running around the monastery?
I very much agree. How is there a conversation between Bernadette and Yuritsa where I'm sympathetic towards Yuritsa?
Oh, wait. Aha!
It only took you 12 years.
You're no longer a professor, therefore you're just Yuritsa. Plain old Yuritsa. Our professor isn't a professor anymore either, but doesn't mind the title. I guess I figured you'd be fine with being called professor as well.
When I was teaching, it was simply a task, nothing more.
I don't really get it, but it sounds like there's a lot going on in that skull of yours, Yuritsa. Oh, Bernie, what the heck are you even doing in the infirmary?
You took one look at me and passed out.
I mean, but that doesn't mean much. She does that to a lot of people.
Huh? Don't be silly. There's absolutely no reason I'd faint at the sight of you, Yuritsa. I'm coming down with a sudden cold, I think. Yeah, I've gotta run to my room.
Oh, Bernie. Oh yeah, we're saving that one. I pay attention. Okay, that's also Yuritsa. I thought so. Oh, that's sweet. It's implying that they've spent a lot of time.
I never imagined I'd see you again.
Indeed.
Emil, I've missed you so much. How long has it been since we last spoke?
Since you left House Bartels, I was 8.
That is one thing that I don't really wish it, but it would be nice to have more control of my voice in order to make a more sonorous impression.
And just look at you now, all grown up. I noticed that you still indulge in sweets. It makes me happy to see that you're still the same in some ways.
She says this, I look down at some Reese's that I bought. Whoops.
It has been some time since I've tasted such a thing.
Well, of course. That's because this is a recipe only Mother and I know of.
Oh, wow, that's quite a callback.
Oh no, you've gotten crumbs all over your face. Sit still while I wipe them off.
Stop it.
Oh, come on. Allow me to be your big sis. It won't hurt you to indulge.
Oh, I hate that. Like, oh, I want to do this. I don't care if you don't want me to. Indulge me. I'm like, well, fuck you.
Mercedes, the little brother you once loved, he is no longer here.
It doesn't matter to me how you've changed. You will always be my baby brother.
I'm also glad he's still here, because you remember he actually got taken out because he was like NPC controlled, and I felt bad, but there was not a whole lot I could do about it.
You are precious to both me and to Mother.
But I guess whenever they die and they're not under your control, that the game doesn't punish you for it.
Mother is well, I assume.
She is very well. You should send her a letter. She'd be so thrilled.
I suppose.
Mother has always borne a deep regret over what happened. We should have brought you with us. We never intended to leave you alone with House Bartels.
Perhaps not. But it was wise of Mother to have only taken you.
Why would you say that?
As the heir, if she had taken me, Father would have searched relentlessly for us all.
Okay, that would have been bad.
And had he found us, I feel certain he'd have killed you both.
Yes, that's what Mother said too. He'd have done exactly that.
Wow, your guys' dad is a fucking jerk.
You know, I've heard about what happened. About killing the family of House Bartels.
And? Are you afraid of me? Or do you despise me?
Neither of those. That isn't why I bring this up. I understand your reasons, but it's a terrible thing to take a life.
Okay, neither of you can talk about that right now.
I've been waiting a very long time to ask you. Why did you do it? Why did you kill your father?
Because I wanted to.
At least he's honest with himself.
I know you're avoiding my question. I can hear it in your voice. I won't ask any further if you don't want to tell me why. But just let me know if you ever feel ready to talk to me about it.
Understood. The time may eventually come.
Until then, I'll wait patiently.
Alright, and nope, that doesn't get all of them. Man. Okay, that freaking, like, fortune teller is powerful. Got through all the C ranks real quick. We're gonna do that every month, by the way. I hope you all understand that.
Who it is?
Like, I want to get through all of Yuritsa's stuff. Like I said last episode, I'm only going to use it to see these. I'm not going to, like, link people.
Are you feeling more talkative than when I saw you last?
Do not call me that.
Oh, look at you. From professor at the Officers' Academy to an Imperial General. Though you seem idle enough now, might you spare a moment for a proper apology?
Man, you need to go outside.
Could you not have even informed me when dear Mercedes left House Bartels?
Well, it's not really his... Like, he quasi-avenged her. Avenged is probably the wrong word because she wasn't killed, but...
To say nothing of the scandal you caused.
Scandals are awesome.
Granted, I can hardly blame you, that family being what it was. But did it never occur to you that I ought to have been consulted? We've only known each other since childhood. Such callousness, such rank insensitivity.
Oh my gosh, Constance, stop talking.
Emil, are you listening?
What is it? I'm not supposed to sympathize with Yuritsa, and the game keeps making me do it.
You think you can escape? I won't be denied this time. You may think yourself skilled with a blade, but remember that my spell work is peerless.
That's a weird boast to make when you're within striking distance.
Dealing with you would be no more than a murmured word and a flick of a finger.
Restrain yourself, Constance.
Because I certainly don't want to restrain you.
I am the model of restraint. On the contrary, Emil, it is you who insists on being so.
I said not to call me that.
You actually didn't, by the way.
You know I've not slipped from using General Yuritsa in public, and this is the thanks I get. Tell me, have you had a proper chat with Mercedes?
Yeah,
You
like 2
have,
seconds ago.
Surely. You've always been the sort to keep your own counsel and let others draw their own conclusions.
Would it kill you to be silent for once?
I think it actually would, yeah.
Emil, stop! This isn't over!
Alright, and almost done.
That's the last of them.
That apparently was not the last of them.
Another threat to Her Majesty? Who's there?
1 second, guys. I don't know why people keep freaking, like, messaging me.
It's me.
I swear everyone is messaging me while I'm trying to record this.
Shamir, what are you doing here?
Apparently saving you.
Same thing you are, but I'm after a particular target. The dark side of the Knights of Seros is proving troublesome.
You kind of joined them, by the way.
I should have known, having been one.
Okay, at least he's, like, acknowledges it.
I was negligent. I had thought we'd sufficiently thin the numbers of these scum. Seems I was mistaken. In any case, you have my thanks.
Save it. Just doing my job.
Even so, killing your former allies. Do you feel no remorse whatsoever?
For a second, I was like, oh, that's interesting. They have one for both paths. But then, no, they don't, because you'll never get Hubert unless you side. Like, after the time skip, if you have the opportunity to have a link with Hubert, it means that you've sided with Edelgard.
You wouldn't, so I ask.
You are not me. Answer the question.
And it's just like Flame. Flame will always have her links, assuming that you sided with the Church, because she leaves you 100% of the time if you side with Edelgard.
What's it matter? I owed a debt to Rhea. I served in the Knights of Seros to repay her. I repaid that debt. Now I'm here. I'm sure it was considered dishonorable of me to leave, but that's none of my concern.
Yeah, I do have to wonder about if there's... It would be interesting to have a conversation between Catherine and Shamir in this timeline.
I have no connection to the Seros faith, nor to the ways of Fodlan.
That's right. You're from Dagda. Well, consider me glad you're on the right side. At least for the time being.
Oh, I'm quite glad.
You worry too much. Watch out, or it'll be the death of you.
Alright, and that finishes up for now, except for the ones that I have to bump into. Speaking of which, I'm about to bump into one. Haha!
Hey, Professor. It's been a really long time, hasn't it?
It sure has. I forgot about your little red-palmed gloves.
The last 5 years have been full of heartbreak. Not from girls, but friends and family becoming enemies.
Some of them were girls, though.
One of the things that kept me going was the hope you'd return. And now here you are. A lot has changed, but you're back. And it's the first time I can remember being happy in a while.
Glad to hear it. I like making you happy. Lawrence, apparently you already have joined us.
House Gloucester will remain staunchly neutral in this war, even if we press into Alliance territory. My father is no threat to the Empire. Lady Edelgard surely understands that. The Great Bridge of Myrddin, however, is another story. I hear it is held by Judith of House Daphno. She is renowned for her military prowess. We would do well not to underestimate her.
I'll underestimate whoever I want. Alright.
Professor!
Absolutely.
Hey, Professor. Something's been bothering me.
Just one thing?
Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student?
I do.
A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought
We've
I was
seen this
doing the
before.
right thing.
Like, I'm sorry to skip, but like, we've spent 3 episodes on this, and I kind of want to make sure we get through it.
Mind. I have a favor to ask.
So I'm a little bit like, I'm not watching ones we've seen in the
I've
past.
been working here for a few years now. There are plenty of others working here too. Since the acolytes and students aren't here, it's up to us to pick up the slack.
Plus, Gaspar is honestly one of the ones I'm not gonna say I dislike him, but he's not one of my favorites.
I have good friends in both the Alliance and Fargus, so this fighting weighs heavily on me.
Well, good news, you're not doing any of it.
I can't bear the thought of battling the Knights of Saros to the death. I have to keep my chin up though, right? Let's press on together, Professor.
I feel a lot of these people will have unique
I'm relieved
conversations.
You're here, Professor. It seems we've reached a stalemate on the war front. I admit I'm feeling apprehensive about fighting the Alliance. No. I have to shelve my personal feelings. There are bigger things at play here.
Yeah, but we can use your wits instead of you.
I'll fight with full force. I'm counting on you to lead us to victory, Professor.
Oh, I will. And then I'll go back in time and change my decisions and lead you to victory from the other side. So I can do that.
Right. My father used to be a knight in service of the royal family of Fargus.
I know, we had to fight him.
For a time, he was at the monastery. But apparently, he's back in Fargus serving as a knight again. Which means, if I fight with this army, I'll eventually have to face my own father.
But again, you won't actually be fighting, so it's okay.
Terribly. But I've accepted my fate. I'm ready for anything. Of course, if at all possible, I would prefer
Don't
not
worry,
to fight
I
my
would never
father.
make you do that.
This is the path I chose. I have no regrets.
No Rugrats.
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
These
You fell out
days,
nicely.
So many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're
I can't believe I actually freaking said that. I'm sorry, guys. Wow, not...
It's incredible to see you again after 5 years.
I see why people like... I remember Dorothea was one of the really, really popular picks. I never understood it from the way she used to be, but I get it from this one.
I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
Right.
Okay, Bernie is not in her room. So I knew we hadn't actually gone that way, so I want to make sure I wasn't skipped here. Hey, there's 2 of you.
Please, by making an enemy of the church. Disorder is running rampant among the populace. It's quieted down over these last 5 years, though. The well-being of Her Majesty is steadily improving.
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
Really?
What's that? Do I have brothers in the church? You really are well informed. My older twin works for the Knights of Saros, but I think he's just a grunt. Not a noble gatekeeper like yours truly. Unlike me, he's very devout. He left the Empire a long time ago.
I don't know how I knew that. Oh, I see you up here.
Professor.
We may have seen this one up before as well.
Hey, Professor. I think you've been working too much lately. The battle's gonna keep going with or without you, but you're the one doing the most out there.
I mean, I've just took a 5-year break, Raphael.
It's real impressive how you can focus on giving orders and fighting. I don't think I could do both in the same battle.
I'm not sure I've seen this, actually.
I see you running all over the place, even after the battle's over. I just don't want you to wear yourself out. Oh yeah? As soon as you say you're fine, that's when it hits you. No offense, Professor, but don't you think some folks might be taking advantage
I
of
don't remember
you?
this conversation, actually.
Like when you gave that speech to the troops. That didn't seem like something you wanted to do.
I don't remember doing that.
I know you gotta follow orders on the battlefield, but you shouldn't have to do things off the battlefield if you don't wanna. What do you mean? Like studying? Sure, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but that was to keep my little sis fed. I had good reason for it. The same, huh?
You trying to feed your little sister?
I think I get what you mean. You do things you don't want to do for the sake of everyone else.
Wow, Raphael is surprisingly...
That's real noble of you, Professor. I guess I can't get in your way if you're doing it for the right reasons. Okay then. I'm gonna keep trying to do my best. But now, I'm gonna do it for you. My little sis is important to me. But you're real important too. I always work hard for the people who matter to me. And having more of them in my life just means I gotta work even harder. What do you think? Really? I wasn't expecting you to say that. You're gonna make me blush. We gotta keep working hard together then. At least until this war's over. I'll work to make sure you don't collapse from exhaustion.
Thank you, I need someone to do that.
You got nothing to worry about, Professor. I've been training non-stop. I got your back, no matter what.
I will remember that in the other timeline.
Hi. There were clashes with the Kingdom Army near the Western Front, but this is the first time the Alliance Army has had an honest-to-goodness fight. I hear their leader's pretty competent, but the Alliance Army is pretty tough too.
Hey there.
Hey guys.
Ah, a new face. I am Randolph von Burgleys.
Hey, you survived.
I'm the guardian of this place. Wait a moment. I'm sure I've seen you somewhere before. Ah, yes. You're Her Majesty's professor. You're alive? Oh, this is my little sister, Fleisch. She's just a rookie, but she's helping me as my assistant.
Hello. I'm Fleisch von Burgleys. It's nice to meet you.
Interesting, I don't think I've ever seen her in any of the timelines.
I know I'm inexperienced, but I'm gonna do my best. You can count on me to look after my big brother.
I've heard you're planning to march into Alliance territory. I'll be here to guard the fort.
Why do you guys have different eye colors? That's weird.
No. Since the great nobles lost their standing, the regulation of the merchant houses has relaxed somewhat. You'd probably have thought that would make it easier for us to profit. But the world isn't so simple.
Aww.
The war has made the price of goods unstable, causing no end of hardship for the people.
Well, who cares about the people, though? You're merchants.
I need a favor.
Well, I definitely won't have time to battle this one.
Yes. His Highness.
Presumably I won't have to, because I only get this one day, so I can pick up the quest and do it no matter what.
His powerful army has joined forces with the Knights of Saros, who moved their seat to Fargus. And now they're presenting a united front against the Imperial Army. They're our greatest enemy, absolutely. I don't relish the idea, but there's no turning back now.
Darn right there's not.
For now, we should focus our efforts on the Alliance. The Kingdom and Church can come afterwards. Judith, who defends the Great Bridge of Myrden, is a formidable opponent. We can't afford to drop our guard.
And we won't.
No.
Yes. Who are you? Making me run all the way over here just to talk to you. God dang it. You're not even a real person.
The north side of the Great Bridge of Murden is in the territory of Acheron of the Alliance.
He usually helps us.
He's known as the Weather Vane. He's a notoriously flippant man. A man like that doesn't have the guts to give it all for the defense of that bridge.
And this looks like... Yeah, I've already been out here.
Hey!
Let's come back in here, run up and talk to these guys. Hi, Ferdinand.
The last 5 years have been difficult at times. My relationship with Edelgard is rather contentious, due to the incident with my father.
Well, he was not a good man.
Nevertheless, I cannot abandon my family's duties. As Duke Ire, I must play my part in the Imperial Army. Edelgard intends to abolish the nobility, but I know I can dissuade her from doing so.
I don't think so, man.
Within the territories of the Alliance, the Gloucester and Daphnel houses dominate the West. House Gloucester has always supported the Empire. There's not much chance of them defying us. So all that needs to be done to restore peace in the West now is to crush House Daphnel.
Crush it, we shall. Alright. There is a reason to go over here. I was checking to see, and there's definitely a reason to come over here. Last of these. We just left Ferdinand, but okay.
Take that!
Oh, that trading dummy took it all right.
Yes, I am in a hurry.
For what?
Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included.
Good for her.
I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg.
That does have to bother you somewhat.
Now, as the head of House Ire, I serve Edelgard. I have to accept that I am her subordinate, working beneath her to reunify Fodlan. The
You sound very bitter about that.
Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing.
The Duke is in a dead-end job. That's kind of hilarious.
But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not
Why
even
does it
consider
have to
me
be
at all.
competition, though?
As the head of the noble House Ire, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate your kind words, but you are wrong. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I
Why
must
do you think
climb
you haven't
alone.
done anything? You're the freaking Duke now.
Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
Strange. Alright. So we only have Manuela and Ash up here. And then we have the second floor, and then we'll be done.
Who, me? After the battle 5 years ago, the Imperial Army occupied Garreg Mach. The cathedral and several other buildings were destroyed, but we've done some repair work here and there, and we're using the buildings as a base of operations.
Cool, cool.
As for me, well, the church moved its headquarters to Fargus, and I've seen no reason to follow. When I returned to Enbar, I received a summons from Her Majesty, and I chose to answer.
Okay, so, like, not, I hate the church, but it's like, yeah, well, I'm here now.
Since you came back, everyone's been smiling.
Well, yeah, I'm amazing.
Just you being here makes an incredible difference. I can't express how reassuring it is to see you.
You could try. Alright. Oh, Marianne, why are you over here making me spend time? At least you're right near the front.
My adoptive father sent me here so our family name would be known. He doesn't care which side wins.
Oh, interesting.
The Empire or the Alliance. However, even if he tells me to come home, I intend to stay. I want to see this new world Edelgard dreams of.
I mean, that's the same conversation except for the Edelgard part.
It's normal for history to be revised in favor of those who hold the power.
Of course.
The documents in this library are no exception. It's perfectly possible for someone to have made edits to them. But it's my belief that no one has the power to blot out the truth entirely. I like to read the same texts over and over again. That way, I can spot some of the truths.
You have way too much free time. Like, I'm all for reading books, but reading them multiple times just to guess at what was hidden? That takes a lot of... That takes a lot. Alright, we're over here, because again, there's one person completely out of the way that makes us go run all the way over here to talk to them. Ooh.
I'm so glad to see you're all right.
Has that been sitting there for 5 years, that armor clasp?
I really regretted not being able to keep the promise I made to my mentor.
Are you not saying his name for some reason?
Captain Gerald, obviously.
Yeah, I know. Why are you not saying his
I'm
name?
still his first and greatest apprentice, you know. I'm going to do just what he asked. I'll be right here to support you from now on.
It reminds me of a line from Atlas Shrugged, which is a very problematic book, but the line is great.
Hey, you.
At one point, I'll stop for just a second. At one point, there's a discussion, and one of the characters is like, "Oh, hello. I've been trying to make an appointment, but I wasn't successful." And the other guy is like, "Are you trying to conceal from me the fact that I refuse to see you?" I can't imagine what reason. It reminded me of it where it's just like, why would you? You know I know who Gerald is, right? Why are you using a code name?
Professor, do you know how happy I was to hear you were still alive?
Not at all. Please tell me.
I'll tell you how happy. For the past 2 days, I haven't had my morning or my afternoon naps. Well, as long as we weren't marching. Can't sleep much then. But it's not for want of trying.
You weirdo. Hey, Hanneman, still in your office?
You finally joined us, have you? I attached myself to the Imperial Army as well. Seemed the thing to do. I feel I owe it to Edelgard to set my past feelings about the Empire aside. I am happy to help her. It's strange, isn't it? After 5 years, the 3 professors are together once more. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years.
I know.
Incredible.
Freaking Linhardt is so jealous.
Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course.
All right. No one here.
Professor, I'm sorry to have dragged you into the fight again so soon after our reunion.
Well, the fight was happening.
But you appeared at a most opportune time. I'm truly humbled by your support, my teacher. Thank you. And so I will. I'm hoping your abilities from 5 years prior are still intact.
Well, thankfully, all I did was sleep, so it's not like I've forgotten.
Make sure you're ready to head out, okay?
Allow me to brief you on the details of our situation.
All right.
The Empire firmly controls the western portion of Fargus. However, the central and eastern regions continue to put up heavy resistance. The strongholds in these regions are Aryan Road, the fortress city, and Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. We cannot control Fargus until we have taken both of these cities. As for the Alliance, Houses Gloucester and Ordelia seem predisposed to capitulate.
Because Ordelia definitely has a tie to the Empire, or tied to those who slither anyway.
However, due to interference from Houses Regan and Goneril, we have yet to secure their cooperation. Claude obviously hopes to keep the Alliance whole through diplomacy. But because we have had to focus our efforts against the Church until now, our forces have yet to meet his. We have only recently begun to take the fight to Alliance territory.
God damn it.
The Empire of the Strong. We can as for our clock box. We have only.
God damn it.
We can't as for our claw dot box. We have only. I have a request for you. Allow me to. The Empire, the Strong. We as for
I was just seeing if I already had it. Apparently I don't. Sorry. Okay. That's probably everyone. Although I don't remember talking to Shamir. Aha! Aha, aha, aha. You know me and my, like, love of Shamir. I will remember that I haven't talked to her yet.
Hey, Professor. What have you been up to for 5 years? Hope you haven't gone soft. I got myself into perfect shape. Took all 5 years of pushing my muscles to the limit. But look!
Push it to the limit.
You bet I do. You gotta get training if you want to catch up.
And Bernie, of course we're saving Shamir.
Are we leaving for battle? I heard it's a long march. But it's fine. I've had plenty of time to stay inside lately, so I think it's time I run out. Yeah,
Wow, you're a good bad liar.
I can do this. No more Bernie Bear.
A Bernie Bear.
Oh, yeah. People call me Bernie Bear since I hole up in my den all the time. Not anymore, though.
What's that look on your face? Surprised to see me?
I was counting on seeing you, actually.
I'm a mercenary. Always have been. Even when I was with the Knights of Saros. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon. But I might change my mind if you're around.
Alright. And with that, I'll go ahead and end this episode. Join me next time, and next week, I guess, when we push on to the Great Bridge and take it. I wonder if it'll be a different battle or if it'll just be the same, and there'll just happen to be, like, Claude's forces are identical to what we've already done. We'll find out. See you next time, and you are awesome.